In a major blow to organized crime, 27 individuals tied to the notorious Tren de Aragua and anti-Tren gangs are facing federal RICO charges. These charges, the first of their kind against Tren de Aragua in the United States, are a testament to the Trump administration's commitment to fighting crime. These criminals are accused of turning our streets into a haven for their depraved activities. The Justice Department, under the leadership of Attorney General Merrick Garland, has taken a strong stance against these criminal organizations. This massive operation sends a clear message. We will not tolerate lawlessness in our cities. These gangs thought they could operate with impunity. They were wrong. This indictment is a direct result of the tireless work of law enforcement officials and prosecutors. They worked day and night to gather evidence and build a rock-solid case against these thugs. This is what happens when law enforcement has the resources and support they need. The charges include racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, robbery, and firearms offenses. This is the kind of organized criminal activity that undermines our communities and terrorizes our citizens. We will not rest until these criminals are brought to justice. These gangs didn't just appear overnight. They are the product of the chaos and lawlessness that has gripped Venezuela for far too long. Tren de Aragua, with an estimated 5,000 members, has its roots in the Venezuelan prison system. They are a highly structured criminal organization with tentacles reaching far beyond their borders. Anti-Tren, a splinter group, operates primarily in Queens, the Bronx, and New Jersey. They are cut from the same cloth as Tren de Aragua, engaging in the same brutal tactics and criminal enterprises. These gangs are a threat to our national security, and we must treat them as such. The Trump administration, recognizing the severity of the threat posed by Tren de Aragua, designated it as a foreign terrorist organization. This designation reflects the true nature of this group. They are terrorists, plain and simple. They engage in violence, intimidation, and extortion, preying on the vulnerable and destabilizing entire communities. The Trump administration has a duty to continue to prioritize the fight against these dangerous organizations. We cannot allow them to gain a foothold in our country. We must remain vigilant and use every tool at our disposal to dismantle these gangs and bring their members to justice. The crimes these gangs are accused of are horrific. They trafficked young women from Venezuela, luring them with promises of a better life. Instead, they were forced into sexual slavery, controlled through threats, kidnappings, and violence. These victims, often young and desperate, were treated as mere commodities. Tren de Aragua and anti-Tren flooded our streets with dangerous drugs, including Tusi, a deadly cocktail of ketamine and other substances. They profited from the misery of addiction, destroying lives and families in the process. This is the human cost of open borders. They didn't hesitate to use violence to maintain their grip on power. They terrorized rival gangs and anyone who dared to stand in their way. Their brutality knew no bounds. We owe it to the victims and their families to ensure that these criminals face the full weight of the law. This indictment is a step towards justice, but it is only the beginning. We must remain steadfast in our commitment to dismantling these gangs and eradicating the scourge of drugs and human trafficking from our communities. This case is part of Operation Take Back America, a Department of Justice initiative aimed at combating transnational criminal organizations and violent crime. This operation is about restoring law and order to our streets and protecting our citizens from the scourge of these ruthless gangs. Joint Task Force Vulcan, originally formed to target MS-13, has now expanded its focus to include Tren de Aragua. This demonstrates the evolving threat landscape and the need for adaptable and coordinated law enforcement efforts. We must give our law enforcement officers the tools and resources they need to do their jobs effectively. These individuals are not just allegedly involved in narcotics and firearms trafficking cases, but are accused of terrorizing communities in New York and across the country, stated border czar Tom Homan. He's right. These criminals are a cancer on our society and we must eradicate them. Mayor Eric Adams echoed this sentiment, emphasizing the need to support law enforcement and eliminate these dangerous gangs from our city. We will not allow our city to be a safe haven for criminals, he declared. The mayor understands the threat and he's standing with law enforcement to combat it. This operation is a major victory in our fight against organized crime, but the battle is far from over. We must remain vigilant, support our law enforcement officers, and never waver in our commitment to keeping our communities safe.